Mr. President, distinguished delegates, and representatives from civil society, it is my pleasure on behalf of the United States of America to speak with you at the first ever UN General Assembly special session against corruption. President Biden has called corruption an insidious pandemic.
This is not about me. It's not about my son. There's not a shred of evidence there's anything done that's wrong. This is the guy that's unhinged. He is unhinged. I know what occurred in Ukraine. I know what occurred in terms of China. I know what occurred in terms of Russia. He does not want to run against me. That's what this is about.
That's because corruption isn't just a threat to the pocketbooks of ordinary citizens. It prevents economic growth, extinguishes trust in public institutions, and threatens democracy itself.
How is your role as Vice President in charge of policy in Ukraine and your son's job in Ukraine? How is that not a conflict of interest?
It's not a conflict of interest. There's been no indication of any conflict of interest from Ukraine or anywhere else. Period. I'm not going to respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing that no president has ever done. No president.
Corruption takes away from public and private resources, and at its worst, funds transnational crimes and human rights abusers.
You're pointing out when he's flat lying, where there is no evidence, none, not a scintilla, not one little tiny piece.
So the Biden administration is committed to taking special aim at corruption.
Cancer of corruption.
But then something strange happened. Just 3 weeks later, a Ukrainian natural gas company, Burisma, accused of corruption, appoints Hunter Biden, seen here in their promotional videos, to their board of directors, paying his firm more than $1 million a year.
The only country where Hunter Biden's business and his father's diplomacy as vice president intersected. It also happened in China.
This video shows Chinese diplomats greeting Vice President Biden as he arrived in Beijing in December of 2013. Right by his side, his son Hunter. Less than 2 weeks later, Hunter's firm had new business, creating an investment fund in China involving the government-controlled Bank of China. With reports, they hope to raise $1.5 billion.
That starts with building on the U.S. government's existing anti-corruption tools, obligations, and commitments. That includes steps like vigorously enforcing the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which strengthens business environments around the world by prohibiting U.S. persons from bribing foreign officials.
I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
Today, the world is shining a spotlight on our shared efforts to prevent and combat corruption.